There we go. We've had our bump. That was an early bump. That means we'll have no more bumps. The Wi-Fi in the house is good. Definitely not an outside day today. But the nice thing about being inside is we get to play with rocks. There are no drawbacks. This is really interesting. See, this is a natural surface, right? This, I believe, I mean, nobody told me this, but I reckon that this is obsidian because this is definitely pumice. But look, it's flowed. Those lines don't, it's not sedimentary, this is a surface. So I reckon this is volcanic glass. Now that's a cut surface. And there's another natural surface, it must have split. And it's really groovy. I really like this. And there you can see this is more, hi Nora, g'day gorgeous. See, doesn't that just look like obsidian? So I reckon that's what it is, but you know, it's this mixture of colours. And there's the bottom, you can kind of see, that's a cut surface. So it's pretty cool. And those lines that you can see there are how it's grown. They're not cut lines, the surface, if I can catch the light on it, which I'm having trouble doing, but you can vaguely see those, it's like there's been a circular saw. So, but these straight lines, this is flowstone. This has come down the side of a mountain when it's erupted. And so it's got a broken surface there and a broken surface there because it dries and splits, right? And that's cut and that's natural. So I think it's really cool. Might be called clinker, but I think clinker is normally dark and black and very sharp. So this, I just love showing this one off because it's so interesting. Let's see the shiny face on it. I love that. Morning, Nesreen. Great to see you. And from something large to something small, this is a little ruby. And you got to see, it's that, I've forgotten it. There's a proper name for this shape. See, it's got 6 sides, but it's stretched. Susanna, good morning. So this is the little ruby. There's plenty of rubies that aren't gem quality. But, you know, I love the shape. I love the fact that it's this sort of dark maroony red colour. That's, you know, non-gem ruby. And it's just beautiful. It's very sweet. It's gorgeous. I love it. So there you go. And the other thing that's happening is this ball of ruby fuchsite. And you can see, again, it's got rubies in it. But this is fuchsite, right, which is a sort of a micaceous thing. Good morning, Sanchia. Lovely to see you. So if I show you the top of it, where is the top? There's the top. So, you know, it's obviously anything that's kind of like mica has got layers, and that's quite sparkly because, you know, mica's sparkly when it's flat. And so it's got rubies in it. And it's this beautiful green colour because there's lots of copper in it. And it's just generally gorgeous. So those are our rocks today. And I'm enjoying them. Good morning, Heather. I just love turning this one around. You know, it's not a perfect sphere. It's got kind of dents in it. But it's close enough to being round to be gorgeous. And the little red dots of the rubies just, you know, add. What can I say? I don't need to say anything. Yeah, I enjoy this one. It hasn't been on for a little while, but it popped up its hand today. So, today's conversation picks up really from yesterday, believe it or not. Or it picks up from the day before yesterday. Jen, good morning! So, because we've been talking about opening our hearts and letting love in, and I asked one of you a question, and I got a really good answer, which was a question, because I asked if there was a question. And so I'm really responding to the question, and the question goes something like this. Well, yeah, I want to let my heart in. I'm working, open my heart and let love in. I've been working on this for ages, and my list is really long. And it was great that yesterday, you know, we talked about how to break the list down. Hi, Gaia Man. But you know, bottom line, I just find myself really afraid to open my heart. I'm afraid of being vulnerable. I'm afraid of being hurt. And you know, there's all this built up stuff about protecting me. And I can't move through it because it's just really, you know, I need to protect me. I got really hurt. I got burned and got emotionally branded, right? Remember, you have a strong experience. It ends up in the architecture of your brain, the chemistry of your body, and the more powerful it is and the more you revisit it, which you might have been doing for a long, 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 long time, the more it becomes who you are and how you know to be, and it's very familiar and it feels sort of safe, but it locks out the love and also the abundance and the health and the whatever else you want, purpose in life too. You can't really connect with all that stuff with a closed heart, because everything's all the same, really. Everything is the same frequency, and whatever frequency you're holding or not holding, well, that's what you are. Lucy! Actually, that's not true. It's not what you are, but it is what you manifest. It's what the universe can give you. That's it. It doesn't have any choice. It has to play snap with you. So whatever you put on the table, if you like, whoever you're being, and I mean the sum total of who you're being, not what you're thinking, because what you're thinking is 5% of who you're being. Who you're being is what you feel in your body and all your subconscious and your unconscious and the energy field you put out. The universe has to endorse that. So, what do you do when you have massive walls around your heart and you want to take them down, but it's just way too damn scary? Really, bottom line, it's way too damn scary. And I don't mean scary as in, this is a horror movie, although for some people it might be like that. I mean, there's just a part of you that says, no. Hell, no. And it's kind of immovable, and you can argue with it, and you can try to feel different feelings and have different responses, but bottom line is just, no. No, I'm not doing that. And I thought about this last night when I was putting this thing together, and I thought, well, the one thing I know about that situation is there is absolutely no point in banging your head against, it's beyond a brick wall. A brick wall you can take a sledgehammer to. This is like a granite mountain. And you don't white knuckle it through these things. There's no point in forcing yourself to open your heart. I've got to open my heart. I will open my heart. And you're back into forcing yourself, and it hurts. And it's just, no, it is just not what you need to do. So what do you do, right? But that's the common response we have, is if there's something we want, it's on the other side of a barrier, we push harder, we try harder, we work at it more. We fight for it, right? Oh, we're back into survival emotions again. When you're fighting for something, you can't open your heart. It's kind of counterproductive. In fact, it's completely counterproductive. You can't force yourself to open your heart. It doesn't work like that. So how do you deal with the fact that you have had to build a brick wall around your heart, and now it's limiting you, but there's a part of you which is so insistent upon staying safe that, it's a double bind, right? I've got to stay safe, but I want to open my heart, but I've got to stay safe, but I want to open my, point made. So, really, those walls, and I've observed this over many years of working with people in different ways, those walls will dissolve and vanish and go away on their own when you're more whole. Julia, it's great to see you. When you're more whole, that's just what is going to happen. The walls will cease to be a thing. The walls are an effect. They are not a cause. Well, what is the cause? People don't love me. I got hurt. Life is hard. No, that is also effect. That is also effect. That is not the reason why you built walls around your heart. It's very obvious and very logical and very reasonable. A plus B equals C. I got hurt, I shut my heart. But actually, it's not the reason. And what is the reason, Maddie? Because you're talking rubbish at me now. This is what I'm discovering for myself. If I become whole, if I can love myself really deeply, enough to heal myself, if I can let the love of the universe, which by the way is me, into me, if I can connect with myself that deeply and feel love in myself, independent of anybody else or circumstances, tra-la-la-la-la, then those walls are going to come down because I'm going to feel whole. And somebody can stand in front of me or, write to me or text me or whatever, a load of crap. And instead of accepting and believing and surrendering to the rubbish that they put on me and the hurtful things they say and, blah, 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 I'm just going to know that that's complete not true. Laura, great to see you, honey. I'm going to know that is not true. And I just won't accept in myself, it won't land. Because I know, I love me. I feel loved in myself. And so whatever some other thing does, and yeah, you're right, Sunshine, we so give our power away. To say, I can't open my heart until somebody comes along and makes me feel whole. You're giving your power away to that person who may never arrive because you're so not whole. How can you attract a whole person when you're not whole yourself? And then, and then they come and you say, I can open my heart now, and then they might hurt you. And you're back to saying, oh, well, that's another reason why I won't open my heart again next time. You totally give your power away. We give our power away to things outside of ourselves, and so we can't really heal because we're always waiting for that thing to arrive. And then when it does come, it's like, well, how long is this going to be before I get hurt again? Really, is often the program that's running. And so because you're sending that signal out, you're broadcasting that, often unconsciously, you don't even know that you're running this expectation all the time, this is going to turn to shit sooner or later. The universe has to honour that. Oh, shit. Oh, really? Yeah, really. Remember, the universe has to endorse the sum total of who I'm being. Not who I'm thinking about being and doing my best to be with the 5% of me that is my conscious mind. With the whole of me, it has to endorse all of who I'm being, whether I know it or not. It's got no choice in the matter. And we have to, you're right, it does make so much sense. It's just like, oh my God, really? This is how it works? Yeah, it is. Oh, shit. But also it's empowering. Because if you really understand that this is how it works, then there is nobody you have to wait for. You don't have to look outside for something outside of you to come along and make you feel better. You have to do it yourself. Which is like, oh, well, how the hell do I do that? I'll tell you a bit of a story because look, this is so relevant to me. I have been doing this, right? You know, I've been saying I've found my attention drawn back in the last week or so to opening my heart more. And I've recognised sort of another layer, and it is like onions. You know, Shrek was a genius. Life's layers like onions. Layers. And I've recognised I need to open my heart more if I'm going to let more in. And I'm seeing that I must be doing it because more stuff's coming, which is great. But today, sitting there in my space, picking up exactly where we left off after yesterday's, which was amazing and transformed me again, and aware that I wanted to open my heart and there was all this pain. It's like, what the? Really? And it's not the sort of, oh, why? It's like, what is this about? Really? What's going on here? And I don't want to think about it. I don't hear and not open focus. I want to shut my analytical brain down. Turn that off. Get into my emotions. Get into my feeling. Long story short, what came to me, this was my thing, is that for me, love always came with demands. Love demands. Demands that I have to meet. Demands that I must meet. Demands that are going to hurt. Demands that are going to be constant, ongoing, and demanding. So therefore, I'm not going to let anybody love me because as soon as they do, they're going to want something. And they're going to want it now. Oh. Deep program. Not really something I've been aware of. I mean, I have always, from a very young age, been aware, my God, I do not want to be a parent. Hell no. The worst thing I could possibly imagine would have been having a baby. Demands, now, you know. And I understand because, my mother, she was just happy that she had 3 children. She just wanted to have 3 children. It's her greatest achievement, she's told me more than many times now. Having her three daughters. Loved us. But I didn't feel that. All I felt was her struggling with demands, and you're a nuisance. You're in the way. Too much. So to me, that's what love was. I didn't get the conscious message of I love you. What I got was the conscious message was this is just demanding and difficult and, I'm struggling. Because she was. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't her fault. So, it was a deep thing to realise. Oh. And so then, out there in the universe, allowing myself to open to love that demands nothing. And, the thing that came to me, intelligent love, being connected with, all that is, it said, I don't need anything from you. Although those are the wrong words. I don't need anything from you. Oh, it's just a complete, I don't need anything from you. Tons of babies now. Too late, too early, perfect time, Laura. You're kind of right. I know I came to do this. I know I came to do this. I came to, if you like, birth other things, birth consciousness. That's what I came to do. I kind of knew that too when I was little. Or younger, not very small. But it was so interesting for me to realise I've totally kept people out, Don't love on me because as soon as you do, you're going to want something from me. And guess what? I'm full up and I don't have anything else. I'm committed, man. So, really powerful thing for me to realise what I've been protecting myself from. I've been protecting myself from being drained. You got nothing to give, That's no good either. So the walls we put up, Sang Marie, good morning, sweetie. The walls we put up, they serve us. They are there for a good reason. And I don't think I could have analysed that. I couldn't have figured that out with my conscious mind. I had to get beyond my thinking. I had to turn my thinking brain off, get into the unified field, which is where I can do magic and where magic is done with me and for me and to me. And I'd come out different and realise that real love demands nothing. And there's a caveat, not a caveat, there's another thing that sort of came with this, that I can allow people to connect with me, and real love demands nothing, but somehow I can stay in that space of love that demands nothing, and have people that I care about, and have them want things from me, even need things from me, but be in this place where I don't actually have to do any of that. And that's a weird thing. Actually, I've got to... It's not even about a choice. It's just like... I can't put this into words. It's kind of like, this is not my problem. It's not my thing that I have to do. Yeah, this is just landed as I'm talking to you. It's like, it was there. I'm aware of this download that arrived. But this is the thing. I get a download in the unified field. I get this information and it emerges and unpacks in me, over the day. So to realise that I can let love in, I can let people in, and that doesn't mean anything about what I have to do for them, is really pretty powerful, That something's landing in me as I explain this to you. And it's probably powerful for somebody else. Love does not mean obligation or duty. But at an evolutionary and survival level, love it's programmed at the deepest level that if you love someone, you protect them, you look after. Parents, children, right? It's a big relief to kind of be, but if we are transcending, if we are going past living by the emotions of survival, I have to fight, flee, or freeze. Those are my choices. And anyone I love, I have to defend. I have to fight for. I have to keep them safe. And for me to step teleport out of that. It's not a step, this is the teleport. To teleport out of that reality into the reality where there's a much bigger letting go of the illusion. This is going to sound so bloody philosophical, but it's terribly practical for me. The illusion that there are problems that I need to solve. And that being a loving soul, I need to solve them. For me to let go of that is a huge relief. It's a huge release. I'm going to be thinking about this for a while. I'm sure I'm going to have an interesting time in the field tomorrow because I know there's more coming on the back of this. Go back in straight where I started. Pick up exactly where we started in no time. Just go back into no time. No time has passed. We're just there again. And yeah, love obligates us to nothing. But because of all the survival that's going on, it is extraordinarily easy and practically also as part of, being alive and having children, independence and families and people you care about, to fall over that line where I want to do and be this and have this or whatever it is because I love. That's one side of the line. The other side of the line is I must do, be, have, whatever because I love. It's a very fine distinction, but it's huge. It's universes apart. And wow, I didn't know I'd be explaining this today. I didn't know I'd be explaining this to myself today. So there you go. And it's Friday. The week has gone by. I think I just live in a TARDIS all the time now. I think that is because every day I become somebody else. Truly, yesterday was astounding. I can't even tell you all the amazing things that happened yesterday, not just for me, but for my beloved as well. Amazing stuff landed for people I care about, miracle 1, miracle 2, miracle 3. It just goes on. And today's only just begun. Who knows? So, huge love. Huge love. I'm looking forward to responding to all of your fabulous comments, and I know there'll be something wonderful for this to come out on Monday. Until then, enjoy the replays. You can bet they're going to be the ones that put up their hand like little Ruby and said, I'm coming on today. Love yourself without demands. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.